started, you just need a scrap piece of fabric. So here I have this really cute floral fabric that I bought from Walmart. It's just a quilting cotton. It's not anything fancy or anything expensive, but it's great for small projects like this. So to start with our bow, we're going to cut a strip of fabric that is 2 inches by 12 inches, or a little approximate. Here I'm cutting just 2.5 so I can get rid of kind of that raw, ugly edging. So I'm just cutting a little bit of extra fabric on mine. Now that we have our strip cut out, you're just going to fold it in half and then take it over to your ironing board and press it down. This just makes everything a lot easier. Make sure that you are pressing it with right sides, the pretty fabric, facing each other. Okay, now that we have pressed our fabric down, we are just going to kind of trim off the edges in a little bit of a triangular shape, just to make the bow super cute when you're tying them. So here I'm going to fold it in half so I can get it to be as even as possible, and then just take my scissors, kind of eyeball it, and curve it in. And it'll be just like that. Of course, I'm going to do it again to a second one, and this is a slightly smaller bow. When we take this over to our sewing machine, we're just going to sew along the edge and leave about an inch gap in the middle, and then continue to sew along. You need this inch gap so that you can turn your pattern right side out. And here you can see the difference between the larger bow and the smaller bow. Alright, now that we are at our sewing machine, I'm just going to try to sew as close as I can to the edge, making sure to leave just enough space that it's not going to get caught in my sewing machine. The first strip of fabric, and I have left that approximately 1 inch gap in the middle, probably a little bit bigger than that. And you are just going to kind of start flipping it inside out, and it does get a little difficult. The smaller that you're making this, the harder it is. So I definitely would recommend starting with at least a 2 inch wide bow. Here you're just pulling and pulling and pushing. And I think it's a lot easier if you try using something like a pencil or a crochet hook to help you along the way. You have one side complete and all pushed out, then you can start on the second half. Once you have finished completely flipping it right side out, you can go ahead and press it one more time if you would like. Here you can see where the opening is. The raw edges are slightly folded inside to match the stitching that you already have. So here you can iron it down. You can also stitch it closed. You could do a blind stitch if you're super OCD. Here I'm just going to show you how it works and how we fold the bow, and I'm not even going to be sewing my little opening closed. Alright, to fold our bow is very simple. You're just going to take the 2 sides and you're going to fold it inwards towards the middle, just to find that perfect middle so it is an even bow. Then you're going to grab your nylon band and put it right there at that point. And here you're just simply going to cross it over, your little bunny ears, cross it over and make an X. Now the X that is on the top, you are just going to tuck it under and tie a knot as normal. It'll seem kind of weird at first, but you're wanting it to turn, and that'll make the bow go the correct way. As soon as you've tied it, it's really important just to adjust it around. So here I'm taking the nylon band and just kind of pulling it and untucking it to make sure that it is not in front of the bow and it's in the correct position. Pulling at the bottom, making sure everything is even. My first attempt, I wasn't super satisfied with the way it was going to look, so I'm going to do it again. Also, watching it one more time is a really helpful way to learn. Remember, we're just trying to find the middle, place the nylon band right on it, point the sides up, make sure it is even, cross it over into an X, tuck the top one under, and pull and tie the knot as usual. Finally, after a little bit of adjusting, I got it to look the way I wanted with a tight knot in the middle. At this point, you could use super glue to make sure it just doesn't come apart, or you could do a little bit of sewing on the back, because with little kids, they are going to rip at the bow. Either the little girl or her brothers are going to do that. Here, I'm just going to demonstrate what the smaller bow looks like. There are the two bows. They're absolutely adorable and super easy to make. And if you don't even like sewing, you can do this with felt and ribbon and lots of different materials as well.